I call it the Eve of Friday because it's the day before Friday. And 2 days before we start our weekend. Now we're going to do things a little differently this show. We're not going to do our focus and our spotlight because up until at least over the next 3 shows, counting this one, we'll break down college football teams and their schedules. So today we've got 4 teams to break down, and we'll be doing the same next week as well, which will be Monday the 25th and the 28th. One thing I want to point out though about next week, we will be live from Panama City Beach, Florida. That's next week. You can catch Nightly Focus 8:30. That's Monday the 25th and Thursday the 28th. We'll be live from the beach. You'll probably be able to see that behind us. But that is going to be a very, very fun show. Hope you can tune in to that. This week, at least over the past 2 days, since I believe Monday, the SEC has been having their media days, which is where all the coaches, some of the players go to Atlanta and they're meeting with the media for the first time this season. So let's break down 2 SEC teams this time, and then we'll go to 2 Big Ten teams. Let's start off in the SEC with Kentucky football. What can we expect from Kentucky in 2022? Big questions. They were okay last year. Let's give you the breakdown or the outlook for this season based on last year. Second in the SEC East, behind Georgia. They had 4 players drafted. Their final ranking was 18th, so they were in that top 25, and they had a record 10-3, which is very good, especially if you're in the SEC. So, what can we expect from Kentucky this year? I think they're going to stay where they were. They might take a step back, maybe go to a 9-4, possibly, but that's something we could see. But let's take a look at their schedule. Kentucky's football schedule, September 3rd, they go and host Miami of Ohio. Not the University of Miami, it's Miami of Ohio, the fake Miami, the one that's not as impressive as the real Miami. But if you live in Miami, Ohio, you're still a great town, but I just don't really care for Ohio. We'll talk about Ohio State later on the show, though. You can see I'm wearing my Michigan because I have to talk about Ohio State today. That's not going to be good. Anyway, let's talk about September 10th. They go at Florida. That will be a good game. Florida's under the first-year coach, Billy Napier. We'll talk about them next week. I believe on Monday we'll talk about Florida. September 17th, they host Youngstown. The 24th, they get Northern Illinois at home. Then October 1st, they go at Ole Miss. They get South Carolina at home on the 8th. And then on the 15th, they get Mississippi State at home. Let's stop right there, see which ones could be tough games. They should win the Miami of Ohio game. They should win the Youngstown game, the Northern Illinois, and probably the South Carolina and Mississippi State for sure. Ole Miss is going to be a tough one. I think they'll lose that game. But official picks come the Thursday before that Saturday. So tune in every Saturday throughout the football season. I'll give you my picks that Thursday, and then we'll do a special segment on the Monday following that Saturday. It's going to be where Cuyler was right and where Cuyler was wrong. I'm going to show you which of my picks were good and which of my picks were wrong, because I need to be held accountable as to how good my picks are. We'll discuss that later on as we get closer to the football season. Let's jump to the second half of the schedule. October 29th, they go at Tennessee. That's always a very close game. That could be a tough one. November 5th, they go at Missouri. They should win that. They get Vanderbilt at home on the 12th. They should win that. Georgia on the 19th at home. That's going to be a close game. We'll see. I think Georgia might win that, but you never know. November 26th, they get Louisville at home, so we'll see how that game shakes out as well. So there's the schedule for Kentucky. Now let's go quickly to another SEC team. Now the show is going to be shorter today and next Monday and Thursday just because I'll be on vacation, so it'll be shorter. But nevertheless, let's talk about Arkansas football 2022 now. Let's give you what we saw from them last year and what we can expect from them this year, taking you to the outlook. They were third in the SEC West behind Ole Miss and Alabama. They got 3 players drafted. One of them was Matt Corral, who is currently with the Carolina Panthers. The final ranking for them was 21st, so the SEC had a lot of ranked teams. Final record for Arkansas was 9-4. Lots of people are thinking Arkansas could be better this year. This is one of those teams I think could take a step forward and potentially go to a 10-3 team, potentially. Let's show you that on the schedule. September 3rd, they get Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati, I was not big on them last year. I didn't think they deserved to be in the playoffs, but that's just me. They should beat Cincinnati at home. They should beat South Carolina and Missouri State at home on the 10th and the 17th as well. They get Texas A&M at home. Texas A&M, I think, is going to be a better team this year. Something to continue to watch. I think they could potentially lose that game. They'll definitely probably lose that game at Alabama at home on October 1st. So their first 5 games are at home. Then they start the traveling with 3 straight away games. They go at Mississippi State, they should win that. They go at BYU, they should win that. And at Auburn, they should win that as well. So potentially so far in the season, only losses potentially to Texas A&M and Alabama. Now, as we go down the list, Liberty could, they should win that game. They get Liberty at home on the November 5th. The 12th, they get LSU at home. That LSU is going to be definitely better this year. I don't know if they'll be great, but they will definitely be better. We'll talk about LSU later on as well. Next week, I believe. If not next week, it would be the following week. Ole Miss at home, that's going to be a very close game. And then at Missouri, they should win that game. So we're looking at potential, I'd say anywhere between 8-5 to maybe 10-3 team this next year. Maybe, 10-3. We'll just say that. So between 8-5 to 10-3. So that's the outlook for those 2 SEC teams. Again, media days are going on right now. So all the coaches and players are in Atlanta. So we're seeing that they meet with the media right now. Now let's talk about Ohio State. Let's jump over to the Big Ten, talk about Ohio State. Ohio State was good last year. The only problem was their defense. They got a new defensive coordinator come over from Oklahoma State. He was a runner-up to the Broyles Award, which Josh Gaddis from Michigan won. But anyway, so their defense should be better. They're going to try and get revenge on Michigan. I hope that doesn't happen. But let's take a look at their schedule. Actually, let's go to their outlook first. I'm jumping ahead. They got second in the Big Ten East behind Michigan. 6 players were drafted. Their final ranking was 6th, so they were in the top 10, just outside of the top 4. They had a record of 11-2. Again, those 2 losses were from Michigan and Oregon. I'm going to rub it in the entire show that Michigan beat them. But then, the good thing is that we don't have any Ohio State fans on the show. Anyway, so 11-2 was their record in 2021. Quickly taking a look at their schedule. September 3rd, they get Notre Dame at home. They should win that. I don't think Notre Dame's going to be as good this year. But we'll take a look at Notre Dame in 2 weeks. September 10th, they get Arkansas State at home. That is going to be a winnable game. They get Toledo at home. They should win that. And then they get Wisconsin at home on the 24th. They should win that. And they get Rutgers at home on the 24th, on October 1st. So they should win all of those first 5 games. October 8th, they go at Michigan State. They should win that. Michigan State, I think, is going to be better this year than they were last year. Again, I believe they finished 10-3, but they should be better this year, if that's possible. Iowa at home, they should win that. Penn State at Penn State. It's always close, especially if you play Penn State at home. I think they should win that, but I'd love to pick an upset right there, depending on how Penn State looks this season. Northwestern, they should beat them at Northwestern on the 5th. On the 12th, they host Indiana, should win that. On the 19th, they go at Maryland. They should win that. And then versus Michigan, I'm not going to pick this game until the official day. But just to let you know, since I'm a Michigan fan, I think it's safe to say who I'm going to pick. Alright, so that concludes Ohio State's schedule and their outlook. Let's take a look at Wisconsin's, and then we'll wrap up the show. Okay, so let's take a look at what we saw from them last year and taking a look at their outlook for this year. Third in the Big Ten West, that was behind Minnesota and Iowa. So 5 players were drafted. They were not ranked at the end of the season and finished 9-4. So let's take a look at their schedule and what we can expect from them this next year. September 3rd, they get Illinois State at home. They should win that game probably. September 10th, they get Washington State at home. Should win that. On the 17th, they get New Mexico State at home. So they should win their first 3 games easily. If they don't, that's not good for them. September 4th, they go at Ohio State. I think Ohio State will win that game. So Ohio State they'll give them a loss. They'll likely be 3-1 at this point. They get Illinois at home. Illinois, they should win that. Wisconsin should win that against Illinois. They go at Northwestern. They should win that. They get Michigan State at home. I think Michigan State will win that. So that puts them at 2 losses. They go to Purdue at home. I think Purdue will be better this year, so I would give them a loss right there. So they're a 3-loss team so far. Maryland's going to be better this year, but I think Wisconsin will beat Maryland. They go at Iowa. That's going to be a tough game. They go at Nebraska. That's going to be a close game. I think Nebraska's going to be way better this year than they were last year. And then they host Minnesota at home. That's always a close game as well. So that concludes Wisconsin's schedule and outlook. But again, so we'll be talking about 8 more teams next week on Monday and Thursday. You'll catch us live from Panama City Beach, Florida. We'll be talking college football again next Monday, which is the 25th, and Thursday the 28th. We'll be live from Panama City Beach, Florida. It's going to be fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Alright, it's been a shorter show today, but I'm Cuyler Merryman. Thanks for joining us.